What's up, guys? Back with me is here at Smallville, Season 4, Episode 19, Blank. Okay, so this episode starts off at the town where we see this where, where we see where we see this guy. I'm gonna say his name Kevin Grady, and 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 he's like Robin from the talent, and Lois is like, hey, but he erases like half a second of her memory, so she's like, hey, what can I get you? So, and then once she's gone, she realizes that the money's gone. So afterwards, this Clark goes to stop him, but he blasts Clark so much, Clark forgets his full memory. So when Clark goes when he forgets everything. So when Chloe goes to see him, Chloe's like, "Hey, Clark," and he's like, "Who's Clark?" So yeah, Clark. So yeah, so Clark's forgotten everything. So yeah, so yeah, so well, so yeah, so 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 Chloe and the now amnesia Clark go go to go to the Ken farm, and Chloe's like, does it remember anything familiar to you at all? And he's like, no, and yeah, so yeah, so yeah, so yeah, so 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 yeah, so yeah, and the thing with Lana this episode is that one is like, hey, our relationship isn't like what it was like what we were like in Paris, and Jason's like, and Jason grabs her, and he's like, hey, don't turn your back, don't leave me. I'm the only You're the only thing to me, and yeah. I'm starting to like Jason T now because he's starting to become a villain. But also, if you want me to watch Supernatural, I will. For now, if you want me to, I will. It's a good show because a lot of people are watching it. It's scary, but if you want me to, I will. So, so, so yeah, and so yeah, so Clark are at the house, and yeah, and Chloe's like, Lois, where's the Kents? And she's like, they're in Metropolis they're in like Metropolis for Mr. For Mr. Kent, sorry, surgery. And yeah, he's like, what's up with Smallville? And he's like, and aka Clark, and she's like, he's kind of lost his memory and doesn't remember anything. And she's like, oh yeah, like when we met, because remember now, like last time. Yeah, so yeah, so Clark and Chloe are at the town, and yeah, and they're at the town, and Chloe, she never knew Chloe knew Clark's secret, but she is discovering his abilities. Like, not only is Clark, who's now memoryless, discovering his abilities for the first time, so is Chloe. Because now Chloe knows Clark's secret, she's discovering his abilities. For some reason, she hasn't told him yet. Maybe they're waiting for next season. But anyway, she discovers that he's heat vision. She discovers that he's X-ray vision, and yeah, yeah, and when Clark sees Lana for the first time, he's back in love with Lana. So yeah, so next day, so yeah, and Clark says, "Who's that?" And she's like, "Lana Lang, the love of your life." And Chloe, I know what Chloe wants. She wants Clark to be her love of his life, but Clark falling back in love with Lana. So Clark goes to Lana the next day, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I heard what happened." And yeah, and he's like, you wouldn't, yeah, he's like, you wouldn't even remember me, would you? And he's like, oh yeah, you're Lana Lang. And he's like, yeah, he's like, were we ever like a thing? And she's like, yeah, and she's like, and he's like, how were we? And she's like, you were kind of complicated. And he's like, yeah, I mean, maybe I can ask you on a date now. So yeah. Then they go to Lex, and Lex is like, hey Clark, maybe you could show me some, and that thing is the case. Yeah. So and Lex is like, oh yeah, Clark, we go down here all the time. Yeah. So Lex is using Clark's memory loss as a way to learn more about the caves. So yeah. So then they talk to Mr. Grady, Kevin Grady's dad, and like, hey, I feel responsible for what happened to his brother. So yeah, so he's like, hey, he's at Summerhold, and yeah, but Clark discovers the super speed for the first time, and he does see Kevin, but he super speeds the other way, and and he super speeds the other way, and yeah, he goes the other way. Yeah, but yeah, so Clark confronts him, and he's like, yeah, and like, he's like, is that me? And you made me lose my memories, and he's like, yeah. So he's like, do you remember what happened that day? And he flashes back to when his brother was killed, and he's he's like, he's like, yeah, because someone who blocked his memories and made him make, yeah, and we learned that someone who shot the person who shot Kevin Gray's brother was Kevin Gray's dad, which and I guess Kevin Gray's dad didn't want to go to jail or something, so he put some memories in his son to rework it and make it things like he killed his son, so his son been afraid all the time because he so yeah and yeah so yeah and Chloe got kidnapped by Gray Kevin Gray's dad, and 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 she's about to, her brain's fixed when when Clark when when Clark saves them, but Clark's memories come back, and Lois and Sheriff Adams also discover Clark's abilities, but for a second, that's when Em agreed to protect Chloe. She erases a second of Chloe's memory and a second of Lois and Sheriff Adams' memory. So they're like, so Lois is like, Clark, where are you standing there? Unstrap her, and yeah. So yeah, so now Clark's back normal. Now he has all his memories back. He goes to Lana and he's like, Lana, he's like, did I ask you on a date or something? And they're like, yeah. She's like, and then, and Clark says, Lana, I don't want, Lana's about to like stop us, and Clark's like, no, Lana, I don't want I don't want to lose you again. And yeah, so, and yeah. And also, Kevin Gray's dad gets arrested. And also, yeah, and also Chloe, now that Clark got his memories back, Chloe's still keeping that she kept Clark's a secret from him. And yeah, basically, that's how the episode ends. Okay, so this episode was really good. I really enjoyed it. Kevin Gray's dad, I didn't expect him to kill his own son. Like, that was unexpected. Like, it was like, oh, Kevin Gray's dad killed his own son. Like, it was like, OMG. Or, wait, what? Because I actually believe that Kevin Gray did, but they put a plot twist and it was like, oh yeah, Kevin Gray's dad did it. But why? Why would he kill his own son? And make his own son believe that he killed his brother? Like, why would Kevin Gray's dad make him think that Kevin Gray did it? Yeah, I'm glad that guy got arrested. But yeah, so yeah, and also I really like this episode. So like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'll see you next Smallville.